Welcome to Grand Prix, your go-to channel for the fastest updates in Formula One. We've got 3 hot stories for you, so make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay ahead of the pack. Let's get started.
Hey friends, how's it going? Today we've got some really good news for us Brazilians, and it has everything to do with Gabriel Bortoledo's team. As you know, the Sauber team will officially transform into Audi next year, and preparations for their long-awaited Formula One debut are moving full steam ahead. Reports coming straight from Germany suggest that Audi's brand new power unit might be far more powerful than expected. Rumors in the paddock indicate that Audi engineers have already surpassed the 400 kilowatt mark, which translates to over 540 horsepower. And while that number alone is impressive, the real story is how rapidly Audi has been building its technical department. They've been hiring some major names from Ferrari, including Wolf Zimmermann and Lars Schmidt, both seasoned experts in engine development. The entire project is being led by none other than Mattia Binotto, the former Ferrari team principal, who has designed a 5-year plan for Audi, 3 years to build and 2 years to consolidate, with the ultimate goal of turning the German manufacturer into a title contender by 2030. The transformation of Sauber into Audi is already well underway. The Swiss base, historically a center of excellence, has been the birthplace of several successful motorsport projects, from endurance racing to rally cars, and is now being expanded and reinforced with talent from both Ferrari and Mercedes. This growing structure is raising the technical level of the entire operation, giving Audi a real chance to hit the ground running. According to insiders, Audi's new engine is already rivaling Mercedes power units, widely regarded as the strongest in the current field. Mercedes sits around 420 kilowatts, or 570 horsepower, while Audi is already pushing beyond 400 kilowatts, around 540, 550 horsepower. That's a huge surprise for a project still technically in preparation and not yet racing on the grid. On top of that, Audi's hybrid package, half combustion, half electric, will use 100% sustainable fuel in full compliance with Formula One's brand new 2026 regulations. It's a sign that Audi not only wants to compete, but also to set the standard for the future of the sport, aligning performance with sustainability. Of course, integrating all of Audi's massive automotive resources into Formula One won't be easy, but compared to Sauber's modest past, the starting point for Audi looks far more competitive. Binotto himself has made it crystal clear. Audi is not entering Formula One just to be another name on the grid. They're entering to fight for wins. So, plenty of optimism ahead, and for us Brazilians, that's even more exciting because Gabriel Bortoledo will be part of this new chapter. Now I want to hear from you. What are your expectations for Audi next year? Do you think Bortoledo's team can already be competitive from the start, or will it take time before they can truly fight at the front? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Hey friends, how's it going? Ferrari just lived through a weekend to forget at the Singapore Grand Prix as the team faced a major braking issue that completely compromised the performance of their cars. These failures had already appeared in earlier races this season, but in Singapore, the situation escalated dramatically. During Friday practice, engineers detected a technical imbalance in the system. The right and left rear brakes were running at different temperatures. And that type of issue is especially critical in Singapore, one of the most demanding tracks on brakes in all of Formula One, with its slow corners, stop-and-go nature, and very few straights to cool the components. By just the 8th lap, Charles Leclerc was already forced to manage the defect, lifting off the throttle at the end of straights to ease the strain and reduce heat. But soon, the issue spread to the front axle, making the situation even worse. The race quickly turned into a test of survival, with Leclerc crossing the line only in 6th place, a massive 45 seconds behind race winner George Russell. Meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton also battled overheating problems and finished in 7th place, before later dropping to 8th due to a penalty, ironically also linked to braking struggles. The detail that drew the most criticism came before the race even started. Ferrari decided not to increase brake ventilation, even though they were fully aware of the risks. That choice was made to preserve efficiency and straight-line speed, but it backfired badly, as the brakes simply couldn't withstand the extreme demands of Marina Bay. What stings even more is that Ferrari's engineers knew this problem existed. Overheating had already been flagged in earlier races, yet the team judged it not critical and brought no updates or reinforcements to Singapore. That risky bet turned into a disaster, with fans and analysts alike questioning why such a critical area of performance was neglected for so long. The outcome? Ferrari remains winless in the 2025 season, stuck in third place in the Constructors' Championship with just 6 races left. Once again, a questionable technical decision transformed what could have been a solid result into another painful red nightmare. So here's my question to you. What do you make of Ferrari's recent decisions? Do you think there's a specific weak link inside the team, whether in management, technical leadership, or strategy, that needs to be changed before they can finally get back on the path to winning again? Or is this just part of the chaos that comes with competing at the very top? Drop your thoughts below, because one thing is certain: Ferrari can't afford many more weekends like Singapore.
Hey friends, how's it going? The day started busy in the world of Formula One, and now it's official. Mercedes has confirmed its driver lineup for the 2026 season, putting an end to months of speculation about the team's future. It was announced this morning that George Russell and Andrea Kimi Antonelli will remain as the team's full-time drivers for next year. This confirmation closes a long-running saga that involved countless rumors, from talk about Mercedes potentially signing Max Verstappen, to whispers about Antonelli being loaned out to Williams, and even other wild scenarios. None of that will happen. The Silver Arrows are sticking with Russell and Antonelli. Russell has been with Mercedes since 2022, but his contract was due to expire at the end of this year. Negotiations had dragged on slowly, partly because team boss Toto Wolff, who also manages Russell's career, wanted to carefully evaluate the market before committing. During this period, Verstappen's name surfaced as a possible option, especially earlier in the year. But according to Racing News 365, that interest cooled significantly after the Belgian Grand Prix. In fact, Russell reportedly rejected some of Mercedes' initial proposals before finally agreeing to a new deal. Now the Briton has officially signed on to stay, and he'll continue as Antonelli's teammate. Antonelli, meanwhile, is only 19 years old and was brought in to replace Lewis Hamilton this season. His rookie year has been a mix of highs and lows. On one hand, he stunned the paddock with a pole position in the Miami Sprint and claimed his first podium at the Canadian Grand Prix. On the other, he's had weekends where inexperience clearly showed, with mistakes and inconsistent race pace. Still, Mercedes believes strongly in his long-term potential and sees him as the cornerstone of its future. With this announcement, Mercedes is making a bold statement. They want to build the next chapter of their legacy around Russell and Antonelli, entering the new technical era of Formula One in 2026 with stability and continuity. This is especially important given the sweeping regulation changes coming that season, when new power units and aero rules are expected to shake up the entire pecking order. For now, Mercedes hasn't revealed the length of these new contracts. It's unclear whether they've tied Russell and Antonelli down for just the opening years of the new era, or if the deals stretch longer into the future. But what is certain is that Toto Wolff has doubled down on his faith in both drivers. So, what do you think? Was Mercedes right to place its bets on Russell and Antonelli? Or do you believe they should have made a bigger move, maybe going after Verstappen or another proven star? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, because this decision will shape the team's trajectory for years to come.